I'm talking to Kirk Profit, who represents the interests of the city of Ann Arbor in Lansing. Thank you for talking to me, Kirk.
Well, thank you for doing this. It's really exciting that you're doing this. You would hope at some point it's in the, the area or the regional museum, or not for me, but for what you're doing to, record, the experience people are having with this, once in a century experience.
Thank you, Kirk. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. So I'm going to ask you the same questions that I ask everybody.
Okay,
real,
good.
Real big questions that you can answer however you like. So what kind of adjustments have you had to make personally or in your work during this pandemic?
Maybe a couple things at work. Of course, our building is closed, and our work is a relationship-based business. So it's dramatically changed because most of our activity is person to person, direct, and now it's all electronic. It's virtual. There's a little bit of direct, but that's dropped from being 95% of our activity to maybe 5% of our activity because of the stay home, stay safe requirements. So that has changed dramatically. It's actually become busier because it's a little less efficient, and because I'm working from home most of the time, I don't have the support structure that I do in the office. So it's a lot busier and it's different. But I tend to be of a mind that you need to embrace what life brings you, and really search and seek the value in each of those moments. So I've had pretty good success in doing that, personally and professionally. So it's been a lot of change, but we've been able to engage and remain relevant and active for the clients we represent.
What precautions are you specifically taking in the day-to-day activities that we are all needing to participate in to just go about our lives, like getting groceries, any reason you have to go in public, because we are told to avoid public places. So what kind of strategies do you have in your household?
Well, I really don't want to get this, and I would feel even worse if I gave COVID to somebody else. So we are, as a family, personally, professionally, very, very protective of and responsive to those public duties and personal duties. So for me, I was, I live in Ann Arbor. So this morning I was actually at Kroger's, and I have a mask and gloves and keep distant and that sort of thing out of, that personal interest in not getting COVID, and out of respect for others who don't want to get it from me in case I'm carrying it. So I follow every guideline that you read and you hear. I don't. I feel like if I'm responsible in that context, I don't have to walk around in fear. I can, again, kind of get into the moment and see what places you can be and can go, and how you can live a real meaningful life even while in this strange circumstance. So I don't want to really run from it, but I do want to protect myself and protect others from it.
Some people I've talked to have described feeling very cooped up, and the frustrating feelings of looking at the same four walls all the time. Do you have any strategies for overcoming those feelings of having lost so many of the outlets we used to have, workplace social situations, public place social situations? How are you overcoming these feelings that you're looking at the same space and looking at all the same people all the time?
Well, I again refuse to do that. I just, again, I remain COVID responsible and COVID respectful. But I get out, not necessarily with people, but for example, like I say, we live in Ann Arbor. We live on the west side, and we have 4 acres. So I get out around our property and, probably notice and hear and appreciate certain things that I might not have before. The frogs at night and the woodpeckers in the morning, and the different sounds that maybe you just don't even pay as much attention to normally. All of our family lives here in Ann Arbor, So we're real fortunate, in COVID responsible ways to see families still. There's a lot of places I don't go, but there's a lot of places that I am probably more intensely aware of. So like I say, I think I really do in most things that I approach in life, try to, find the value in each moment and embrace it and see what it has to offer. And I think we've had pretty good success in doing that.
Do you take any special precautions when you go outdoors?
When I'm outdoors by myself, no. Again, when I'm in a public place, I'm very cautious because, again, I want to make sure that whatever the COVID, responsible practices are, I exercise though, again, for those around me and for myself. I've known some people that have passed away from this. I've known several who have had it. I don't want to get it, and I don't want anybody I know to ever get it. Obviously, some do, but I don't want to be responsible for it. I feel it really strongly personally like that. And I make sure that I do whatever I can do to prevent me being a carrier to somebody else and prevent me from getting it myself. It is an ugly situation, and it's really unfair, I think, for people not to respect those COVID best practices that have been shared by so many medical professionals.
We've seen in the recent weeks a reaction to how long the quarantine has dragged on, how long the stay-at-home order has been in effect. And I've asked everyone what kind of thoughts they have about this, what kind of remarks they might have. What would you say to people who are really feeling overly restricted and are ready to return to normal and are saying, enough is enough. We need this needs to stop. We need to go back to normal.
I've been, I've been to Lansing a couple of times. Like I say, we own the lobby business, so I've had to go to our office actually on a couple of occasions to write checks or sign documents or do different things. So I've had to do some of that, and it's interesting that the times I've gone have been the times of the protest on the state capitol.
Wow.
And it's, for me, it's really distasteful. It's really selfish. It's obviously extremely politically motivated, and very disgusting. I mean, some of the things you see, a baby, Barbie doll yesterday on the end of a fishing pole with a noose around its neck, Confederate flags, all kinds of disgusting stuff. People walking into Capitol with, long guns, assault weapons, because at least under the current rules at the Capitol, they can. I mean, we're in a pandemic here, and we got people protesting with armed, to the hilt on the Capitol lawn. I think it's really a strange circumstance. So for that, I don't, for that slice of our culture, I don't really have any respect for, and I think they're really being selfish and unfair to the rest of us, and I think it presents an image to the rest of the world of something that really Michigan is not, although we certainly have a slice of that because we see it on the Capitol lawn too frequently. For those who do feel cooped up, again, I say, look around. It still is a big, beautiful world, and you got to seek the beauty in it. So I think it's really narrow to get stuck on, we all probably watch CNN too much. We probably watch, all that stuff too much. And I think you got to get out of it. I mean, you get the information and the understanding and the knowledge you need, but then get out into the world that you can get out into and see what it has to offer. I mean, there's, even if you're not that mobile or you don't have that much access to the outdoors, there's things to read and things to, explore even, internally. So that's where I'm at with it. I refuse to get, sucked into just wallowing in the COVID piece. I mean, we have to be respectful and we have to be responsible in that context, but I don't think it's a time to ignore the rest of the world.
That is the end of my questions. So I can ask you, is there anything that I didn't ask you about that you think is worth talking about?
Probably after we get off the Zoom, wow, I wish I would have said this. I tell you, I want to underscore how much I appreciate what you're doing. these are really difficult times for public officials. There's so many challenges and so many, inputs coming at you with so many different interests. And you got to do your best to be COVID responsible in a public way and with the public interest in mind to make sure that we have a way forward. In Ann Arbor, it's really difficult with all the public kind of activities that we all enjoy. I mean, I love being downtown. I love, being here in River and in the parks and all the different things that we have to offer here. And you guys have to try to balance that in the best COVID responsible ways. So I appreciate the challenge that you have and the leadership that you're showing. So thank you.
Well, I thank you for talking to me today.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Thanks.